no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me.
What's up out there, friends and family? It's your boy, the motivational teacher, coming to you live with another edition of Motivational Monday. We are out there on Periscope. If you're out there in Periscope land, holla at your boy. We're out there in YouTube land. If you out there, holla at your boy. And we're out here in Facebook land. And if you're out there, holla at your boy. It's time for the hungry to eat. I'm starting to see the eyes line up. My mom looked like good afternoon, looked like she was right there, trigger ready to be on go. So if you would, holler at your boy and let me see who the hungry are. I believe the hungry shall inherit the kingdom. Holler at your boy. For all my replayers, give me about 2 minutes as I share this to all my social media outlets, if you would. And I'm starting to see more eyes come on. If you would, just holler at your boy. Let me know who's out there. And then also, if you would, just go ahead and type in a couple of names to invite people to this broadcast. Tonight is going to be powerful. This has been one I couldn't wait to get out. Let me share this to my platforms. What's up out there, everybody? I'm starting to see more people starting to join on. Hope everybody's having a blessed and prosperous Monday. I know this weekend was beautiful over here around the Atlanta area. I hope everybody else had such a beautiful weekend. Let me share it to a couple of more places and into my personal page, and I'm going to be ready to break this bread. If you're out there, man, I'm starting to see the eyes add up. Holler at your boy. Hey, Auntie. Thank you for joining me, Auntie Tessa. If you're out there, holler at your boy as we get ready. Y'all give me about 30 more seconds. We're going to get ready to break this bread. And I'm telling you, go tell your folk, if you want your life to be different, you better get in this conversation because we are going to break some bread tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. I am your boy. Hey, Courtney, thank you for joining us, the motivational teacher to the masses. And tonight, we're going to break some good doggone bread because we've been on this series, Awaken Your I Am, episode 49. I started it last week. For technical difficulties, I was unable to complete the message. So I said I want to do episode 49 all the way back over again because I believe that there's a word in this that is ready to change somebody's life for the better. I'm telling you what I know right now. Hey, what's up, Tina? Thank you for joining us. Will you all please share, host watch party, type names in the bottom. Hey, Joy, thank you for joining us. Let's go ahead and get this thing up to about 40 eyes right here so we can break this bread, man, because I do believe these are the days. These are the days where a transference of wealth is taking place for the person who knows who they are, who know who they are, and knows who their God is. To theirs is the kingdom. I'm telling you right now that just based on what I've been seeing from the people on this list, based on what I've been seeing, like there are people on this list right now that's starting their own TV channel. There are people on this list that's starting businesses in the midst of COVID. What's up, Angelique? Thank you for joining us. There's people on this list right here, the names I'm looking up and down here, that are doing amazing things in the midst of a pandemic. I'm telling you, to the degree that you can awaken your I am, you can inherit the kingdom. I'm telling you right now, you got to get in your mind that I'm going to get everything that God has ever intended for me to have. Thank you for inviting Dana, Tina. I'm telling you right now, there is no more compromise in what God is and what I believe God has already given me. Listen, the days of compromise are over. And I'm gonna get into my notes tonight. Tonight we're talking about how to live consciously. We're talking about how to overcome habits. What's up, Edwin? Thank you for joining us tonight, bro. And tonight, man, I'm telling you what I know. I know right now your situation doesn't reflect what you know about yourself. But I'm telling you right now, if you could just hold on a little while longer and begin to wage war just a little harder, yours is the kingdom. I'm telling you, to the degree that you can believe, you can have this stuff, man. I'm going to break bread tonight. Last week, it took me 12 minutes to get to my first note. I said this week, Aunt, You got to be more under control. You got to be more precise. Tonight, I came to do surgery. Tonight is so important that I lay the letter of this law down precept upon precept. It's so important that I take my time. Hey, what's up, Anika? Thank you for joining us. That it's so important that I take my time to get you to the next place of where you want to be. See, I don't believe, and this is the difference between the motivational teacher and these other motivational speakers, preacher, pastor, whatever you want to call them. What I believe that there's a couple of people in this world right now. I believe that there's people that's learning how to win, and that there's people that's winning or that's been introduced to it. I don't believe that there are failures in this world. God did not create a failure. If you're on this side of the dirt, then you must be in the process of learning how to win. Don't you ever negate your small beginning. Don't you ever negate how you started. Don't you ever negate how you began. Don't you ever negate who you are, even in the midst of a struggle. Don't you ever negate what God has put on the inside of you. Don't you ever see, I got to get you to the place before I go into this conversation so you can see the why behind of what we're asking you to do. I'm telling you right now, in the midst of a national pandemic, to open up your dreamers again. I'm going to break bread before this is over. I'm asking you, in the midst of a natural, of an economic recession right now, I'm asking you to open up your dreamers. I'm asking you to start speaking. Eyes have not heard, eyes have not seen, and ears have not heard. I'm asking you to start believing for more in this season right now. You don't have to put your life on hold based on what the world is experiencing. I'm telling you right now, in this moment, that wealth transference is taking place. And if you don't get yourself in the game mentally, you are disqualified to partake in that transference. I'm telling you what I know, ladies and gentlemen. I all deep down in my knower, what's up, Q? I know there is a transference of wealth going on right now. You said you needed something for your dream. You said you needed something for your children. I'm telling you right now, it's time for you to start believing again. It's time for you to start opening up your eyes again. Helen Keller said what's worse than being blinded is having vision, having sight, but no vision. Having sight, but no vision. She said that's the worst thing than being blind. I'm telling you, I'm asking you right now. Let's begin to open up that vision back up. Let's begin to write down what I said I was going to do when I was in the 3rd grade, what I said I was going to do in the 4th grade. Let me start right now what I believe God has planted on the inside of me. Let me start writing down what I believe God has already given me since the foundation of the earth. I'm telling you all, I'm going to break bread before this is over. That your goals or that dream that God has already given you has already been played out. God declares this thing from the end to the beginning. Whatever you got in your spirit or you got in your heart that you know that God has given it to you, it's already done. Now you have to become the version of yourself that can attract that vision, that goal, that whatever God has placed on the inside of you. See, it's so many people that fight from a position of a victim. Like we believe that there's principalities, and I'm not saying that there are not. That there are principalities and powers that's keeping my stuff away from me. I'm telling you that there is no principality or power strong enough to keep your stuff away from you with a made up mind. I'm going to break bread tonight. When you have, man, when you're walking in harmony, me, my mind, my body, let me say this William definition of harmony. When my deity and my humanity are walking together as one, this body can do exploits. Your body is your subconscious mind. Your deity is the part of you that identifies with your Savior. Your humanity is the part of you that came from this dirt, your soul. I'm telling you right now, to the degree that you can speak it and believe it, it's to the degree of which you can walk it out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now that your best days are coming to you on the front side. Your best days are right around the corner. Your best days are not behind you. No, don't think that, man. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't got on my notes yet. I said I wasn't going to be 12 minutes in, but I gotta give you foundation. We all love talking about David slaying Goliath. We love talking about David with a slingshot slaying the giant. We love that conversation. We love that story, talking about how he took down the giant and how he's cut his neck off with his sword and how he had the conversation. He told Saul, I can't fight with your armor. I got to use what I'm comfortable with. We love talking about that story, but do we know why David was down there in the battle? Do we know why David was down there at the site where Goliath was? The only, and I'm telling you this so you will not negate where you are right now. I'm telling you this right now so you don't play yourself down based on what you're seeing right now. I'm only telling you this here now because you might be like little David. Yeah. And this is for somebody out there because this is coming out of left field. This is for somebody out there. You might be like little David. And all you're doing is taking lunch to your brothers who's fighting on the front line. David had no business at that moment of time when Goliath made the comment about his God. David had no business being there other than the fact he was being obedient to what he was told to do by his dad. He was taking lunch to his brothers. My question to you is, how many of us are taking lunch right now and we believe that we're not doing something that's major? Right now I might not have my TPS studio, but I am doing the Medea plays. And right now, all I'm doing is taking lunch to my brothers. Right now, you might be working a job and you saying, man, this ain't what I'm called to do. But I guarantee you continue to carry that lunch like it's your last day. Continue to bear that lunch there on time. And in a brief moment, you're going to run into and have to slay your Goliath, and yours is the kingdom. I'm telling you right now, you got to stop looking at where you are as small. You got to stop looking at yourself as inadequate. You got to stop looking at yourself as insufficient. I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, that there's something so special on the inside of you, but you got to believe that. In order for you to get what I'm going to talk about tonight, see, lukewarm, casual-minded people can't get what I'm talking about tonight. If you lukewarm and you casual and you're floating through life, this ain't for you. I'm going to break bread before this is over. If I lose some eyes, I just lost them. If I lose some eyes, I just lost them. You know what? I'm telling you right now, if you lukewarm and you sometimey and you dip your toe in the water and you take your toe back out, no, I'm telling you, you got to go head first. You got to go head first in this water, baby. In order to change your life, you got to go head first. And tonight is one of these messages that if you can hear what I'm saying, tonight your life will be changed forever. Forever, ever. So let's get into this right now. Tonight I want to talk about habits. Last week we started down this discourse before we were disconnected. And I'm 12 minutes in and starting back again. I want to talk about habits. Right now, thank you, Tina. We're going to break bread tonight. And I'm going to challenge you all, chime in that text box. As you begin to talk back to me or you begin to speak to the other people up and down this list, what you do, you create new connections in your brain. And you start firing off new thoughts and you start getting new revelations as you begin to communicate and as you begin to participate in this conversation. This is conversation. This is us talking back with one another. This is not me just sitting over here yelling to a microphone. This is you and I having a conversation. And the conversation tonight is about habits. The word habit is a settled or regular tendency or practice. A settled or regular tendency or practice. All of us have habits. Whether our habit was formed from when we were little kids or whether our habits were formed from going about day to day, we all have habits. Think about how you get to work every day. How often do you take different routes to the same place? Not very often. We all have you ever been driving your car and ended up at one place and say, man, I don't even remember taking that turn back there. How in the world did I do that? Autopilot. We all have habits, a settled or a regular tendency. And the challenge with some of these habits are we believe that we are our habit. Man, I was coaching a young man and he was telling me about how he grew up with his dad, and his dad was angry and his dad pretty much abused him and his dad pretty much abused his wife, and he had this anger problem deep down on the inside of him, and anytime something didn't go his way, he created a big scene and just had a big temper tantrum, and he said he couldn't help it because his dad was that way. I gotta break bread right there. That was a learned behavior. Yeah, we could call it generational curses. We can call it demonic activity. Call it what we want to call it, but that is a learned behavior. If he had grown up in the house with someone who was mild mannered, somebody who had a servant mentality, somebody who was mild tempered, he never could have learned that behavior throughout that way. And I'm telling you, a lot of these areas in our life that we think that's where I am just that way, them habits. We got to break them habits. Them habits. Not only that, but sometimes some of our tendencies can be positive. Our regular tendencies can be positive. And if you've gotten in the habit where you eat well, you eat vegetables, you eat salads, drink a bunch of water, all of those habits are helpful to the well-being of what you choose to be. See, we can't fall into the habit where we fall into the mindset that we believe that all habits are bad. There are some habits that are good, like waking up in the morning, reading or meditating or praying. Those are all good habits. But it's usually the ones that mean us no good that gain the traction in our life the quickest. What do you mean, Aunt? Yeah, we are not our past, Angelique. We're more than that. We are more than that. And as soon as we stop living in our past, we can begin to pursue our future a little more. And that's why I'm talking about these habits right now. Because we believe that the things that I learned in the past dominate my thinking today. My company, they announced we having layoffs. Immediately, the majority of the people at the company started thinking about when they were associated with layoffs before. I got laid off before and this happened. I got laid off. No, we have to disassociate our new thinking patterns. When I become a new creature, I have to disassociate those old thinking habits in order to becoming something new. And like mine, I don't care if the job closed down the doors tomorrow. I've never seen his seed begging bread. I don't care if they close down the doors tonight. I ain't gonna never go hungry, and I ain't gonna have to beg bread. He take care of the lilies of the valley, the birds in the air. Why in the world would I ever feel like I gotta be in lack when my father closed the lilies of? I don't care if they close the doors, but in 2009, when they announced that they were gonna have a layoff, I was shaking in my shoes. What happened, Anthony? I got a new set of behaviors. I got a new set of habits. I've understood now that everything that goes on outside of me is just stimuli. And what I believe about me or what I believe about the situation is what I attract. Hey, like them Hebrew, whether they keep me or whether they let me go, I don't care because my gifting is in what God has called me to do. I motivate, I coach, I inspire because that's what God given me to do. And whether I do it for them or I do it here or I do it somewhere else, I'm doing what I've been called to do. And because no corporation made me, can't no corporation fire me. My gift came from heaven. And the moment you start believing about yourself that the great I am has gifted you from above, your mindset begins to change when you have external stimuli. That's all it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's external stimuli. The Bible says a man doesn't know his own heart. A man, let me help you out. This body locates your heart. You see, boy, this is not where I was going tonight, but let me hit it. Absolutely. Never begging for bread. No lack. No lack. And see, no lack is not based on what I see. No lack is based on what I know. I ain't got to have $100,000 in the bank in order to have no lack. My no lack is based on what God said about me. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. It's based on what he said about me. And as I begin to operate in his principles more frequently, man, you create a life that you're gonna have trials and tribulation, but you create one to where this world didn't give it to me, so this world can't take it away. That peace that surpasses all understanding, that's bread breaking right there for somebody out there. I don't know who needed that for this moment in life right now, but there is a peace that surpasses all understanding, and it's rooted in the confidence of who your great I am is that buffers your I am. I'm gonna break bread tonight, Brock. There is a version of you right now that can withstand any test that comes your way. I'm telling you right now. But that thing is rooted in who God says you are. Yep, I had to remain positive in all my misfortunes. And see, I'm glad we're having this conversation tonight. And the thing about those misfortunes, they didn't come. to break you up. They didn't come to kill you. They didn't come to take you out. But imagine you wouldn't have known how strong you truly are without having gone through that situation. Truly, if I remember sitting in front of a school where I was coaching, and I was a stockbroker at the time and did not have gas to put in my car. I did not have gas to, but went going through a nasty divorce. I didn't have gas to put in my car. But I'm telling you what I know, and I don't know. This is not what I meant to talk about tonight. I don't know how I got over here. But since we're here, let's roll with it. But I'm telling you what I know. Your level of belief in who your great I am is fuels the belief of who you are. You got genius on the inside of you. Why? Because you came from a genius. Now it's up to us to start building the habits, the regular tendencies or practices that it takes to draw the manifestation from the external to the internal. They talk about a habit theories. A habit theory, it has two effects on behaviors that are associated with context. Habit theories have two effects on behaviors. A habit will prompt frequent performance and will override motivational tendencies in doing so. So a habit will prompt frequent performance. Right now, as we sit down and look at our lives, where I sit now is a lagging measure of my past habits. Where I sit right now in this seat, whether I'm in a seat of lack or whether I'm in a seat of affluence or I'm in a seat of abundance, it is generated from the habits that I've put in place the last 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years. For some of us, 40 years, we've been operating with the same mindset, going through the same situation, making the same mistake. And God is always having to deliver you. But I'm telling you, there's a place to where you can get above these situations right here. Situations you go through are to make you stronger, not to break you. But I better say that, Joy. They're always meant to make you stronger. They're always meant to show you who you truly are. But there's a place to where you can prompt frequent performance in the direction that you want. For example, we have a really good Miss Monica. Miss Monica Miss Monica clean the house. She clean it from the top to bottom. It's spotless. It's immaculate when Miss Monica leaves. And we have Miss Monica come back every 2 weeks. But the challenge it shouldn't be that Miss Monica has to come back every 2 weeks. The challenge should be that if we want a clean house and a consistently clean house, we have to change some of the habits. For example, if somebody said, man, I just wish my house was clean all the time, then you shouldn't be wishing for a clean house. You should be wishing for better habits that lead to a clean house, like putting your shoes up when you take them off, or putting your clothes in the dirty clothes, or washing the dishes when you finish. The problem is not a clean house. The problem are the habits that leads to a dirty house. You feeling your boy? It ain't the fact that your account have no money in it. It's the habits that we've built up until this point that leads to my account having no money in it. Your account is neither positive or negative. Listen to your boy. It's about how we manage it. When you say, Aunt, I just don't have enough money coming in, then the question is, how have you made yourself more valuable to increase your earning potential? I just broke bread right there. The problem is not that I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money is a reflection of my past habits and my past value that I present or that I give to the society at this moment. So it's not the fact that I don't make enough money. The problem is that I haven't made myself more valuable. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. See, you thought that you had to have more money and you figured out ways of how I could get more money instead of trying to figure out how you could get more money. The key is, how can I make myself more valuable? Because money is attracted to what? Come on in here, Antoinette Marie. Money is attracted to value. Oh, I need so much more money. I need, now, if you don't, right now, if you're making $40,000 and you don't increase your value, then your $40,000 in 5 years with inflation gonna be worth much less. If you're not doing something to increase you, then your earning potential will soon start decreasing. I'm telling you right now. And see, the 60-year-old version is looking for the 40-year-old version of you to make better decisions so the 60-year-old version cannot have to run so hard because the 40-year-old you are building the right habits so the 60-year-old you cannot have to go so hard in life. See, I'm breaking bread right now. The 60-year-old version of you is right now, boy, there are two members warring in my spirits right now. You got the 40-year-old version of you, Anthony, right now, that only wants these donuts and want these hamburgers. But the 60-year-old version of Anthony saying, Anthony, take care of yourself at 40, so at 60, I can do you good, boy. I got plans to prosper you and to do you good, 60-year-old Anthony. But I need the 40-year-old Anthony to start building the right habits. So when we get 60-year-old Anthony, we can break some brick. Come on, ladies. As my sister would say, you better come on in this house. I'm breaking bread right now. And that ain't going to be popular, but it's the truth. We can't keep blaming people for what we lack or where we stand or what we don't have. And my mama, my dad, and my Trump is this person and that person. We can't, man, listen to what I'm telling you. The time for blaming other people is over. We got to get into the place where we're building behaviors that prompt frequent performance. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. These habits that I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm going to break bread right now. And you're talking about these habits. But you just said the habit is a lagging measure. I'm breaking bread right now, boy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to run out this room myself. And you just said the behaviors are a lagging measure of what I did 5 and 10 years ago, Ant. So motivational teacher to the masses, how do I move beyond those lagging behaviors? And how can I find more leading behaviors and how to develop the habits in my 40s that's going to make my 60 my glory years, that I ain't got to grind so hard in my 60s, that I ain't got to, in my 60s, I want to do what I want to do because I want to do it. I don't want to have to do it because I have to do it. Come on, Ant, break bread for us right now. So, Ant, what do you mean? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to break bread. Accountability to self, Joy. You breaking bread, Pat? Pat, we need some bread, Pat. You dropped in on the right session because let the bread breaking commence. All right, let's go. Habits are a lagging measure, meaning that after the habits have gone, you get the results. So right now you sit where you are based on your habits from the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So, Ed, all right, I need more leading measures. I need more measures that's going to show me where I can be and just not necessarily where I came from. Okay, here we go right here, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to put on that helmet of salvation. It's time to free your mind. Whom the Son set free is truly free indeed. I'm telling you, your secret weapon is right here. The real key to habits is decision making, or more accurately, the lack of decision making. Oh my goodness, Aunt, you just broke bread. It's decision making, which are the leading indicators. Habits are the lagging indicators. If I want to influence the lagging indicators, I have to become more conscious of the leading indication, which is decision making or the lack of decision making. Various internet sources estimate that adults make about 35,000 remotely conscious decisions each day, which is about 245,000 decisions a week. Of your 200, oh my God, that's mind blowing. I've been talking about it for 2 weeks now because I couldn't get it all out last week. Of your 245,000 decisions that you made last week, how many of those decisions were intentional? How many of those decisions did you own? Remember, I said it's the lack of decision making that leads to bad habits. My question to you is, if you're making 35,000 decisions a day, how many of those are you consciously making? Or are we subconsciously floating through life on autopilot while expecting different results? Ladies and gentlemen, life is in session. Are you present? Are you present? I tell my son, you have to be where your feet are. You have to play. You have to be present where your feet are. If you are at home, you need to be present at home making decisions that are pertaining to your house. If you're doing motivational Mondays or if you are the creative giant or you are a jewelry mogul like Tina or whatever you're doing, you have to be present in doing it and don't allow it to do you. It's too many of us living life passively instead of actively living life. We're reacting all day long. We're afraid of what could go wrong. We're fearing the worst could happen. We're listening. Our bosses are making us run to, fro, and left and right. Our children, our spouses are all forcing us to have to do so many different things that life is in session and we are not present. My body is here, but my mind is somewhere else. I just broke bread. There's no way in 5 to 10 years that your financial situation can't change tremendously if you start taking authority and you start taking every decision-making opportunity intentionally. There's no way in 5 years you end up in the same financial place if you're starting to become more conscious about where your money goes, about how your money comes in, about how to earn more money, about how to invest more money, about how to be intentional about your household. Even if it's your marriage. See, most of us, we go through and we say I do, and even in our marriage, all the decision-making skills, we're not allowing ourselves to make decisions. We're allowing it just to happen. And in 5 and 10 years, we say we grew apart, but the fact of the matter is that we haven't been intentional about managing or about the two becoming one. We haven't been intentional about it. In any area where there is no intentionality, soon comes destruction. Things do not stay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you what I know. Either you're growing or you're dying. There's no in between. If you're not feeding it, then subconsciously it's dying. If you're not feeding positivity, because negativity is a knee-jerk reaction. Negativity is common. You turn on the news right now, I don't care, whatever news station, MSNBC, CNN, Fox, go turn on any news, I guarantee you're going to hear more negativity than you will positivity. Turn on any news, local news, I don't care, you're going to hear more about people being shot than you'll hear about people that's doing something spectacular. And I know that there's more people doing spectacular than there are being shot. But this world is negative. And I'm telling you, if you're not intentional about owning your own thoughts, and you're not intentional about your decision making, your 245,000 decisions you make in a week, if you're not conscious on those decision making skills, then ladies and gentlemen, our life will be average. Come on, Angelique. Intention is the fuel. It has to be. It has to be. Not only are we making 245,000 decisions a week, and research says that over 85% of those decisions are made subconsciously, meaning that people are just floating through, making those decisions subconsciously and somehow hoping that my life can be better. I'm telling you right now, God is not a genie in a bottle where he's going to come down and do your life completely different. It's about you owning who you are. It's about you owning that the great I am resides on the inside of me. So my I am is awakened. It's about me owning my lot in life and me not accepting excuses about what I can't be. It's about me taking control, taking back authority over my domain. I talked about it. You're supposed to dominate your environment, not people. Not people, your environment. Lack cannot come in my environment. You know why lack can't come? Because I am intentional when it comes to my prosperity. Sickness cannot come near my body. Why? I don't, corona what? I don't flu what? I take authority over everything that comes against. I can't help it. I'm the heel of God maintaining my health. I'm intentional about my health because I need this body to go. The 60-year-old Anthony is dependent on the 40-year-old Anthony to take authority right now. So when Anthony gets 60, he ain't got to struggle so much. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm breaking bread right now. Your decision making is a plus right now if you're looking forward to building habits that sustain you for the future. Right now, there are children. Research says that children are making at least 3,000 decisions a day. They're making 21,000 decisions a week. How many decisions are we encouraging our children to be intentional on? How many conversations are we having with our children about be where your feet are? And let's start making decisions about now. Because let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this world is cruel, and this world only wants you to fare well. Guess what? Sam Walden is okay paying you $9, $12, $15 an hour for the rest of your life. You know, whether you got a high-paying job, they okay paying you $100,000 for the rest of your life. But what in return are you getting? Like, what's your life worth when it's all over? What have you accomplished when they lay you down in that box before the altar? What's going to be said about your life? When you get ready and you going into the afterlife, will you hear well done, my good and faithful servant? What are you doing right now? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. What are we doing right now? What are we doing right now intentionally? I see some of y'all are intentionally talking back to your boy. I'm doing my morning yoga for the 60-year-old me. I see some of y'all being intentional about talking back to your boy. Pat said, existing, not living. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. You got to be intentional about this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not, I'm telling you, you're going to look back over your life and you're going to say, man, where did the last 10 years go? They went down the drain with you just haphazard living. They went down the drain with you lukewarm living. They went down the drain with you being on autopilot. When I look back over my life, man, every year my wife and I, we evaluate what we accomplished this year. I can't afford to go 10 years and look back and say what happened. I need to know every year that that we set out with a vision, we set out with purpose, and I need to know that we're moving in that direction. I'm talking to somebody out there right now, because you look back over your life over the last 5 years, and you say what happened to it. It's gone because we weren't intentional. And the version of you now, because I told you, your habits are lagging. The version of is a lagging measure. The version of who you are now should have been dependent on the version of who you were 5 years ago to provide for you now. But because we were kind of just going through the motion, we lost some of the results that we could have had in our life. That's why I am the motivational teacher to the masses right now. I take inventory daily. Come on, Q. We have to. Living consciously is about taking control of your life, about thinking about your decisions rather than making them without thought. So actions for your purpose. Come on, Tina, say it. So my question to you is, if you want to take control of your life, in what areas of your life do you need to regain control of? What areas of your life has kind of gotten away? Is it that you stop going to the gym? Is it that you stop taking care of your money? Is it that you stop taking to Q's point daily inventory of your relationship with your spouse? Is it that you've given up on your goal, your dream? What area of your life do you need to start being intentional about? Because in order to live consciously, you got to take control of your life. You got to take control about thinking about your decisions rather than making them without thought, and having a life that we want rather than selling for the one that befalls us. Ladies and gentlemen, I choose to no longer accept what this world wants to offer me. I'm breaking bread right now. I no longer accept what they said that I could have. Well, they want to give you a house and a car, and they want you to go sit in the corner, and they want you to be quiet. They don't want you to say anything. I refuse. I refuse to have a voice and not use it. I refuse to have sight with no vision. I refuse to sit back and not use what God has given me to the best of my ability all the days I can upon this earth. I got to take my life back. You got to take your life back. You got to take, like she said, your actions for your purpose. You got to take it back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you what I know. This world only wants you to fare well. Oh, welfare. They only wants to give you a house, a car, sit you in your corner. You work for them. You live, you die, and that's it. But I'm telling you, like the cross movement said, there's a loophole. There's a loophole. We gotta cash in the loophole. Let God, you come on, coach. I'm gonna break bread, coach. He said, let God use you. I'm going to break bread, man. It's too many people out there, coach, that are living beneath where God has already placed them. It's too many people out there that are allowing their past to dictate their future. It's too many people out there don't believe that there's so much more to them than what they see in the mirror. But I'm telling you today that you can take control of your life. You no longer have to live your life through the eyes of somebody else in the past. You no longer have to live your life based on what somebody else said about you. That you can take control of your own life. God gives me, and I live in my abundance. You got to start saying that every day. I don't care if you ain't got two nickels to rub together. You got to say it. I remember I was right out of a doggone divorce. I was right out of a foreclosure. I barely had gas in my car, and I was a stockbroker. And I'm telling you, it was in those moments. Boy, I'm about to break bread. It was in those moments when God started revealing how strong I truly am, how much creativity. See, sometimes they say necessity is the mother of intervention. And see, some of us haven't hit our rock bottom yet. And so right now, we're still allowing some things to remain in our life that should have been gone years ago. Why? Because I'm still putting up with it, as the old folk would say. I'm putting up with it. And see, you ain't angry at those conditions in your life that don't belong, because there's something on the inside of you that somewhat grasps you to believe that that's your lot in life. And you're afraid to step out on faith, and you're afraid to change that situation. But I'm telling you right now that you got to start taking control back of your life by, number one, embracing your mind. And how do I live consciously? How do I live? I'm gonna give you 3 ways to live consciously, and I'm gonna get off this thing. Number one, how do you live consciously? Number one, you got to accept God's truth for your life. My truth is rooted in what they said about me in my past. My truth is rooted about my failures and my mishaps. And I was on the show the other night, and I was having this conversation, and I made this comment, and some people just got all upset in the comment box. I still stand by today. I said a woman shouldn't always trust her intuition, because your intuition is based on your past. Your intuition is based on what you've seen in the past. It's based on what's happened to you in the past. And sometimes that intuition may not be all the way true, but I'm giving you a new way of life, another intuition to trust. Accept God's truth for your life. What does God say about you? What has he spoken over your life? What has the great I am said that before he foreknew you? He had plans to prosper you and to do you good. That he's already blessed you with every heavenly blessing already. He's already, come on, man. Come on, man. You got to accept God's truth for your life. Q just said it. Your truth is temporary. And most often it's based on what I see, and God's truth about who I am is not based on what I see. It's based on what he said about me that I know. We can't procrastinate. No choice. Become determined. Come on, Pat. Visualize with vision. Visualize with vision. Number one, you have to accept God's truth for your life. Listen to your boy now. Listen to your boy. I want to say this as non-threatening as I can. There is no truth without God. There is no truth without God. Because in the beginning was God, and there was nothing else here. The only truth there is God. He spoke to a bunch of nothing and created something. His truth, if we grasp it, the great I am's truth, if we grasp it, can sit on our I am and make us, man, where we can do things that we didn't even know we can do. David had no clue when he was taking them guys lunch that he was going down there and about to slay a giant. Tyler Perry's studio, when he was living in his car, Tyler Perry had no idea that, well, I ain't gonna say that he didn't have no idea. He didn't know when it was coming. He had TPS in it the whole time. But as he was running around living in his car, putting on plays that nobody was going to, he had to continue to fight the good fight of faith. Come on, man. I'm breaking bread tonight. He had to continue to fight the good fight of faith. And I'm challenging you right now, even in the midst of whatever's going on in your life, you got to trust God's vision for your life. You got to trust God's truth for your life. That's number one. Number two, allow your dream. Allow your dream and allow your future to drive your decision making. You have to be self-aware about where you are. Allow your goals and dreams to drive your decision making. I'm not making decisions today, right now. And let me say this another way. I'm not making decisions right now for me today. I'm making decisions right now today for the 60-year-old version of me. We have to learn how to put off what I want now for what I want eventually. That's what Nick Saban said. They asked Nick Saban, they said, Nick Saban, how do you get these boys to come back to college and to play hard and to do all this stuff? And you got all these, he said, Nick Saban said it's simple. How you get that? I get them to put off what they want today for what they eventually want tomorrow. What do you eventually want tomorrow? You got to be willing to work in your now. I'm breaking bread right now. You got to be willing to do the things in your now that's going to get you to where you want to go. I appreciate that, Coach. Brother, you blessed me tonight. I appreciate that, Coach. I'm breaking bread. You got to be willing to do the things now that others are not willing to do. You got to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone now so you can enjoy what others will not enjoy. You got to be willing to make the decisions now in order to do the things you want to do in the future. You got to own your now. Become self-aware of where you are, man. It's so many of us that lie to ourselves. We tell ourselves we're so much farther than what we are. We got to be honest with where we are. We got to be honest with where we are and accept God's truth for how I get from where I am to where I want to be. We got to accept God's truth. And number one, accept God's truth for your life. Number two, allow your goals and dreams to drive your decisions making. I think somebody said it earlier, visualize with vision. Number three is you got to focus on your wildly important goals. Focus. And that's a whole nother motivational Monday. Focus. Many people lack success in their life because they lack the ability to focus. What do you want out of this life? What do you have to give in order to get it? What are you going to compromise? What do you have to give up right now today in order to get where you're supposed? What is your wildly important goal? See, for me, I am the motivational teacher to the masses. I told you all, there's a place, I say it every week, there's a place where you can have more money than the end of the month. There's a place where you can have a great marriage. There's a place where you can have great relationships. There's a place where you can have a great career, work life, whatever you want. There's a place, but you got to be intentional. You got to have wildly important goals. You got to chart out, like you said, what am I setting out to accomplish today? I call them WIGs, wildly important goals. And you have to focus on those. Anything outside of that are called what? Distractions. One thing, vision gives your life clarity. If I understand what my vision is, not only do I know what I should do, but I know what I should not do. I'm breaking bread right now. I understand what I'm not supposed to be doing because I know what I am supposed to be doing. And too many of us lack the ability to be able to say no. You have to learn how to say no. If it's not edifying you, if it's not building you up, if it's not sowing into you, or you're not doing that, edifying or sowing back into that thing, you got to walk away from it, man. It's draining your energy. It's draining your fight. You're living your life in fight or flight stage when you cannot build, when your parasympathetic nervous system has kicked in. You only build in times where there's stability. And most of us keep ourselves fighting in fight or flight because we're worried about what could happen in the future. I'm telling you right now, your future is now. If you have the right habits right now, you're focused on the right things right now, the future will take care of itself. Trust your boy on this. I no longer, man, listen, man. Oh my goodness. I wish I could open. I no longer ask God for things. I don't. I no longer ask God for houses. I no longer pray for cars. I no longer pray for money. I don't. And y'all call me whatever you want. I don't. I pray for understanding. I pray for wisdom. I pray for knowledge. I pray that you make me more valuable today than I was yesterday. You lead me to the right book that I can read that's going to make me the more substantive so I can add more value to the people around me that are in my life. See, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you move from being about you to when it's about others around you is the moment when God can bless you to the point that no man have seen, no eyes have seen, no ears have heard what's been laid up for you. The moment you start taking your eyes off of what I want right now. And that's the challenge for us. Don't try, either do. Who said that? Who was it? I think it was Gouda. Don't try, either do or do not do. It's that moment in time in life, ladies and gentlemen. We have to leave the lukewarm living. We got to leave the lukewarm living. I got to give up my lukewarm living. I can't have my toe half dipped in and half dipped out. See, if I don't go with this with everything that's on the inside of me, if I don't give everything I have after this goal, after this dream, or after this life, or this kingdom living, if I don't give everything I have, then I'm disqualified from truly possessing the true riches. I'm disqualified if I don't go with everything in me. Man, I'm breaking bread. Come on, Pat. All these other things will be added unto you. If I'm not seeking, come on, Pat. You say these your words, not mine. If I'm not seeking the kingdom with everything that's in me, I'm disqualified from all other things being added. Pat words, not mine. Pat, you said it. I'm just breaking it down the way the motivational teacher sees it. You're disqualified. Well, I want this, I want that. You're disqualified because you're not running with everything on the inside of you. You got to run this way, like Paul said, so I myself will not be disqualified. Will it be easy? The answer is no, because this world only wants to make you average. And they only want to make you average from the time that doctor popped you on the behind to the day you see my eyes. They always wanted to make you average. And I'm challenging you right now not to give in to what this world has said and what this world thinks about you. Boy, I'm telling you right now that there's a fire on the inside of you to the likes this world has never seen before. There's a version of you right now to the likes this world has never seen before. And I'm challenging you as you begin to become more, if you start living more consciously and start engaging your mind more in your day-to-day life, your life, man, I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. See, I'm in the midst of transformation myself. I'm a player slash coach. I have not attained. I'm a player slash coach. And that's why I tell you all, I ain't popping on here to ramble. I'm popping over here to give you life. Come on, Vaniqua. I'm popping on here to give you, to put life in your spirit. See, I ain't coming to talk to you. Listen, sometimes I talk to your humanity, sometimes. But the majority of the time, I'm talking to your deity. I'm talking to your deity. Your deity, boy, this a whole nother motivation. Oh, Lord, I can't go there. I can't go there. I can't go there. If I go there, I'll be here another 20 minutes. Oh, my goodness, I can't go there. They're going to have to tune in another time for that. I'm going to give you a little snippet. Your deity overrides your humanity. Boy, what do you mean, Aunt? That the things in the spirit are more real than the things in the flesh. Boy, I just broke bread. You've been looking at what you got in the natural, and what you got in the natural is not your superpower. It's what you possess in the supernatural, with the great I am wrapped around your I am, is what you really possess. That's meant to bring you before great men. For so long, you've been working in your natural ability. Oh, I'm so naturally gifted. I'm naturally talented. Oh, I do this. But no, your superpower is not in what you. Boy, I'm gonna have to break that down one day. That I got that just then. I'm gonna have to study. I'm gonna have to write that out, because that's some powerful stuff right there. Your deity overrides your humanity. If you become it, there's, oh my God, this is a whole nother motivational money. If you become it, there's nothing outside that can stop you from having it. I am the motivational teacher to the masses. Because I am it, because I am becoming it, there's nothing out there to stop me from man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Man, I got to get off this thing. Boy, if that wall wasn't in front of me right now, I would take it on. I'm telling you right now, the challenge between you and where you want to be is you got to become it. And become it means that I begin to read about it. I study about it. Me and it becomes one. You got to become. If you become it, nothing can stop you from having it. Boy, I just gave you the keys to the doggone kingdom. Whatever you loose is loose. Whatever you bind is bind. I just gave you the keys to the doggone kingdom. Boy, right now, I just need to go forth and doggone conquer. Man, tomorrow, boy, you all not to be the same tonight when you lay down. Oh, right now. You can't be the same. You need to listen to this today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You need to listen to this, and you got to feed your deity. And come on, I'm going to break it today. I got to get off this thing. If you get this stuff on the inside of you, and you got the doggone it or the fortitude in order to say, I am going to become it, nothing can stop you. At that point, you're living out of your deity. Not even death could stop Jesus from fulfilling the total will of God for his life. Not even being homeless could stop Tyler Perry from getting everything that God has given. Same thing for Steve. Not divorce and foreclosure could even stop. Come on, man. The motivation teacher to the masses from coming to fruition. I'm telling you right now. Come on, boy. Come on now. Don't come back without it. Come on, Pat. Man, I got to get off this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God. Like, I could really go on another 20 minutes right now because boy, like whatever connection I got open right now, like Bishop, what's called say, I can hear the rain. I can hear the rain right now. I can hear the rain right now in some of your lives. You need to go ahead and get the pots. Go ahead and get the pots. I know you thought you were gonna cook. You're gonna cook your bread and die, but I'm telling you to go get your pots. And I'm telling you right now, open yourself up. Open yourself up. Start believing again. I dare you every morning when your feet hit the floor, say, I'm up on purpose today. Everything, man, I expect good things to happen to me today. I go forth with an outstretched neck, looking for the good that I want to see happen in my life today. Man, I got to get off of this thing tonight before I go into a whole nother motivational Monday. I'm telling you right now, boy, everything that you want is wrapped up already on the inside of you. I am the motivational teacher to the masses. I am a John Maxwell certified speaker, trainer, coach. If you're trying to get to the next level of life, and you're like my boy LeVar would say, if you're trying to get in the game, you need to hit your boy up. You need to DM me and say, man, I need a coach. And I'm willing to make whatever sacrifice that it takes to get a coach in my life that's going to get me to the next level. I got coaches in my life. I got mentors in my life. I got people that I lean on in my life. You need somebody that can help see a little bit farther than you can to get you a little bit further down. Somebody need to holler at your boy and say, put me in the game. Because I'm telling you, every week I say the same thing. Hey, holler at your boy. Yeah, you know, speaker trader, go get. Hey, I'm telling you right now, the 60-year version of you, 70-year version of you, 35, 40, whatever, the 10-year version of you is dependent on you right now to take advantage of this moment. I appreciate that, Angelique. I appreciate that, Pat. Come on, Joy. I'm going to do it. I see it, man. I appreciate y'all joining us tonight. And I appreciate you all hanging in here with me. This one went a little long, but I'm telling you right now, God is up to something. God is up to something inside of you, inside of me. He ain't up to nothing without using a vessel. And this is your moment. This is your time. I am the motivational teacher to the masses. And until next time, I am challenging you to wage war on mediocrity. Your boy is out.